sending direct orders in public. He is thanking people for carrying out those orders. He's firing people who don't carry out those orders. I mean, what more sign do you need that Trump is directing this in public? He's not doing it in private. It's literally happening out in the open.
It's almost like he got elected president.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to yesterday's news channel, where we watch CNN so you don't have to. Last night on NewsNight with Abby Phillip, Scott Jennings once again found himself surrounded by a panel that uses its platform to demonize law enforcement instead of telling the truth. Abby Phillip, Tiffany Cross, and the rest of CNN's crew want you to believe that enforcing immigration law is some kind of moral failure. But as usual, Scott Jennings wasn't having it. Anyway, let's watch Scott Jennings wreck one of the most insufferable people we've ever covered on this channel. And we cover a lot of insufferable people. Tiffany Cross. Let's go.
They looked at the evidence, and they came up with the fact that there was enough evidence to indict James Comey on the charges presented. Do you not have trust in the judicial system that a grand jury has the ability to weigh right and wrong?
Listen, the jury will decide, but I mean, Donald Trump is making it very clear to the people who work for him. He is sending direct orders in public. He is thanking people for carrying out those orders. He's firing people who don't carry out those orders. I mean, what more sign do you need that Trump is directing this in public? He's not doing it in private. It's literally happening out in the open.
It's almost like he got elected president. I mean, honestly, he has never made any secret, nor have any of his people ever made any secret that they believe a great many injustices were committed against him. And honestly, when you look back on it and you look back at the Inspector General reports and you look back about everything that we know now that happened from the beginning of his first term all the way through now, there are some people that need to be held accountable. I agree with Joe. If a grand jury says these things should be charged, that's part of the process. Now, there was another charge they declined on, so they obviously looked at it and made some decisions in the room. But the fact is, Lindsay Halligan walked in there, gave them some evidence. They looked at all of it. They charged on 2. And I know people who think they may not be done. There are people in our orbit who believe that maybe this is a holding matter and there's going to be a superseding indictment. And so there may be more information yet to come here. But every Democrat in this country for years made no secret about the fact that they wanted Donald Trump and his people prosecuted, put in jail, and prevented from running for re-election. And they opened this box. And now they're living in it.
Okay, the mystical they. So in other words, you're okay with presidents from here on out directing who should be prosecuted in this country and who should not?
I'm okay with the head of the executive branch expressing his opinion.
You're okay with presidents directing who should be prosecuted and who should not?
I am okay with the head of the executive branch
because that is what is happening
expressing
right now.
his opinion to the rest of the executive branch. Absolutely.
So
and I'm also okay with grand juries making decisions.
Joe Biden actually didn't do this, but had he done that, you would have been fine with it?
Well, they certainly made political prosecutorial decisions. Every president does. Every governor, every county attorney.
Wait, hold on.
Every
Scott,
elected government makes political decisions about priorities.
Let's go back to the first statement. Did President Biden make prosecutorial decisions? Did he do that?
I said every administration makes political decisions about who to prosecute.
Yeah, okay, but I'm asking about the president. Did President Biden make prosecutorial decisions?
I don't know if he personally did much of anything.
Did he direct?
His
did he
people
direct prosecutions when he was president?
Did he direct them?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear he didn't have much to do with the governing of the country.
So the answer is no.
But his administration made political choices.
So it's a no.
His administration made political choices.
All right. So look, it's clearly you acknowge President Biden didn't do any of the things that you're claiming.
His administration
was his
absolutely
right to
made
do.
Political choices.
But that wasn't the question at hand.
And that's not
who's the head of the government? It's the president and the people that you have around you.
The president shouldn't be directing prosecutorial decisions, Scott. And I think you know that. It's such a disingenuous argument you guys are making, and it's not even political. It's just a frightening thing to normalize. It actually isn't, and I'd love the courtesy to finish my thought. It's just, it's a frightening time that we're in. Just our moral code to look at this and normalize what is happening. We can focus on Comey, but we should also look that he's gone after the private sector. He's gone at other individuals. Tish James. He's gone after Lisa Cook. He has revoked Secret Service protection for Vice President Kamala Harris out of spite. I'm sorry?
All vice presidents.
6 months, that's what they get.
Yeah, it's a real shame what's happening to Comey, isn't it? I don't think you had to be a political expert to see this one coming. But to James Comey's credit, you can't say he didn't put in the work. You can't say that he didn't earn this indictment. There's a long, ugly history behind Donald Trump and James Comey. And it goes straight to the heart of why conservatives have zero trust in the FBI today. Think about it. Comey cleared Hillary Clinton after that sham email investigation, then turned around and used a Steele dossier, a piece of Democrat opposition research, to justify spying on Trump's campaign. When Trump finally fired him, Comey didn't just walk away into the sunset. He leaked classified memos to the media to kickstart the Mueller probe. That wasn't about justice. That was about revenge. And if you happen to be the one liberal watching this video right now, and you just don't understand us crazy conservatives, that betrayal is exactly why his name still hits such a nerve on the right. So prior to the clip we're about to watch, they showed a video of an ICE agent slamming a detainee to the ground in a scuffle, was probably overly aggressive. So that's what sparks this conversation we're going to watch about what evil monsters ICE agents are. Check it out.
This was a girl that came in when she was 4 years old, who's being told she should self-deport, who's never, don't even speak this language of the country she came from.
Yeah. Scott?
I think when you're having thousands or hundreds of thousands of encounters, the way these federal law enforcement officers are, there are things that are going to happen. It's regrettable. I don't like these videos. And I think you said that the person had been suspended, which seems warranted. But I think we have to internalize something here, and that is we have over 10 million, maybe 20 million illegal immigrants in the country. The federal law enforcement agents who are dedicated to enforcing federal law are going to run into situations that probably are going to get out of hand. It is going to happen from time to time. You want it to be minimal, but it is likely going to happen. That in no way, shape, or form should negate the execution and the prosecution of federal laws. We have existing federal immigration laws until the Congress changes them. If they ever do, they need to be executed by our federal law enforcement. And the federal law enforcement do not deserve to have violence meted out upon them because they're simply showing up and doing their jobs.
We didn't see that though, and I just my moral code is just broken.
10 million, 20 million who ain't doing nothing wrong, who may have come here illegally seeking a better life. We should have a middle ground, and it's Congress's place to fix that. I know that is the truth beyond all, but there's a lot of innocent people that really want to do good things in America who are getting sucked up into this, and it ain't right.
Let me offer just a counter argument, and that is this. We looked the other way for years on federal immigration laws. We didn't really do that much about it. And what you're all suggesting is a policy choice, which is to maybe enforce some but not all. I think I would suggest that when you start to open that door, well, maybe if you come here, it might work out for you. That's when the border is no longer secure again, because that's when people start showing up again. I mean, just tonight, we found out that the head of the Des Moines, Iowa public schools has an existing deportation order, is somehow running the school system in Des Moines as an illegal immigrant. We have a problem in this country, and it's not just my opinion. It was the opinion of the American people last November, and I think if you start to, well, you're okay, you're not, showing any leniency in a moment of crisis will be an encouragement to get right back to the crisis. That's our view.
I get that.
Of his current duties as we conduct a full investigation, he hasn't been fired for that conduct. So, I mean, what do you think is ultimately going to happen?
I think it's even sad that this conversation alone shifted into politics. The fact that people are cheering for this guy who we saw on camera assault a woman, a mother who was here legally, who wasn't doing anything wrong. And we're talking about poll numbers. We're talking about how people feel about Democrats or Republicans, and not just the sheer humanity of these people. I think it draws a very clear contrast of the people who are saying this is okay. And like people cheering him on is just a part of our American fabric. It is, but I had better hopes, higher hopes.
He does deserve an investigation because he's a federal employee, and making a knee-jerk reaction, I'm reminded of during the Biden administration when the whole hoax came up about the guys on the horses at the border, and they were accused of whipping people coming across the border. That turned out to be completely false. But in that moment, the knee-jerk reaction from the White House was, from the president himself, these people will be held accountable. When it turns out,
based on what you saw there, I mean,
so
is that
does he not deserve?
But do you think that? I mean, based on what you saw in that video, and I've seen the whole thing. I'm sure you have because it's everywhere. Do you think that that is the kind of behavior that we should expect from law enforcement in a situation like that?
I think you definitely want to minimize any situation where law enforcement officers are put in this position where they're having violent interactions with people.
They're not having. I mean, Sheena was not having a violent interaction with him.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, I'm asking
the
you,
amount of physical.
If that's
whatever,
like, if this is the kind of
absolutely.
thing that's happening when there are cameras rolling, does it concern you at all?
Yes, of course it's concerning. But as I said at the beginning, I think when you're having hundreds of thousands of interactions with the public, things are going to happen, and then their supervisors should take action, and people can be suspended, investigations can occur. It sounds to me like they're actually following the proper personnel process here to take action on a situation that may not should have occurred.
So Tiffany Cross says conservatives' response is to shrug our shoulders and say, hey, it's going to happen sometimes, about the woman getting taken down in that video. Okay, what do you want us to do, Tiffany? What do you want from us? You bitch and whine, but offer nothing, ever. I don't know about any of you watching, but I didn't hear anything she'd do differently. Because that video of potential excessive force exists, should we open the borders and stop enforcing immigration? Honestly, what do you want, Tiffany Cross? A national moment of silence? It dawned on me while watching this video that Tiffany Cross has one of the greatest jobs on earth. She's literally paid to bitch and moan. Talk about privilege, huh? So in addition to demonizing ICE agents, she was also intimating that Scott Jennings and conservatives in general that see that video and respond by saying, you know, unfortunately, with hundreds of thousands of interactions with illegals, these things will happen. These outliers will happen. She's saying by us responding that way, we have no compassion or empathy, and we don't care about everyone's humanity. CNN wants to paint every single illegal immigrant as a helpless little fawn that they didn't do anything wrong. Beyond the obvious that, yes, they did do something wrong. They came into our country illegally. They knew what they were doing when they came into the country. Because of the previous administration and many before it, they thought there wouldn't be any consequences. But they knew they were breaking the law, that's for sure. And now these illegals want to act like a victim in a place they weren't invited to in the first place? It is directly analogous to me walking into a stranger's home, and when they say, get the hell out of my house, I say, how dare you kick me out of my own home? CNN wants to find every difficult to watch clip like that turned into a morality play while ignoring the crimes that put ICE agents in danger in the first place. But the truth is simple. If you don't break the law, you don't end up in that position. But CNN can't admit that because it destroys the victim narrative they've built their coverage on. What do you guys think? Maybe you can help me out. I'm deadly serious. What do they mean by we're not recognizing people's humanity? I really don't know. Or even if you think it's idiotic, but you know what they're trying to say, will you let me know in the comments? Anyway, that's it for this video. As seems to be more and more common these days, I am once again thanking you all for your support of the channel. Our last video was the best performing video yesterday's news channels ever had. I think it sits at 230,000 views right now, and it absolutely would not happen if all of you that watch videos regularly weren't doing all the things to signal the algorithm, hey, we like this, show it to more people. So I'm so grateful for every single one of you watching. The last week, we started seeing the growth in the channel that I think a lot of us expected to come sooner. That is all due to you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Otherwise, do me a favor and put God first. See you guys.